The second area that I want to look at today is in the area of education, and it's the Scottish Attainment Challenge. And this one's a bit odd because actually we in Holyrood High School benefit from this measure directly. So we've got some good examples there. The Scottish Government has basically said, we know there's an inequity in Scottish education. We know that there's an inequality between the poorest pupils in Scotland and the richest pupils in Scotland. Currently in Scotland, if you have less money, you will do less well in school than somebody who has more money. Now that seems completely unfair, but it's also completely illogical. You don't pay for school, so how come poorer pupils do worse in school than richer pupils? And the answer to that is all sorts of systemic inequality, the fact that it is more difficult as as somebody living in poverty to get to school, to do homework, to work at home, to study for exams, all of these factors. So the Scottish Government has said, well, a collectivist approach to this, rather than just kind of treating everybody equally, is to try and close the attainment gap by raising the average attainment of those people at the bottom. So they're saying, you guys at the top, you're fine, we're going to leave you for now. We're going to go and look at the people who are really struggling, and we're going to raise their attainment. And they've launched this Scottish Attainment Challenge, which is trying to close this poverty-related attainment gap. And what they've basically done is they said, here's a big pot of money, and schools can bid for that money, and they can say, here's a project we're going to do to try and close the attainment gap in our school, and the Scottish Government will say, okay, have a certain amount of money. And it's aimed at local authorities with the highest amount of deprivation, and the money is delivered directly to the schools, and it's spent on programs that target the poorest 5 to 10% of pupils. So it's not targeting all pupils in the school, specifically the poorest 5 to 10%. So an example of this is the £750 million pupil equity funding scheme, which provides £1,000 directly to schools, and school leaders and teachers kind of decide what to do with this. So at Holyrood High School, it's been used to provide support for greater family engagement. There are regular sessions, or there were before the pandemic, regular sessions getting families in, supporting families, engaging with their learning, supporting families, helping families learn with cooking techniques, all sorts of different things for those families. It's also funded the hiring of a teacher specifically working on this closing attainment gap, Miss Gregg, whose job is equivalent to that of a leader of a department. So it's a very high, prestigious job, and that means that she's got a lot of power and she's got a lot of ideas and a lot of ability to make changes. So she oversees all of that. And that wouldn't be possible without this pupil equity funding, without the Scottish Attainment Challenge. So collectivists and the Scottish Government point out that the Attainment Challenge, they say it's working. 88% of head teachers have reported improvements in closing the attainment gap directly as a result of the investment. And the International Council of Education Advisors have said that Scotland is heading in the right direction on closing this attainment gap. However, individuals say, well, this is just throwing money at the problem, and it's only dealing with things around the edges. It's only dealing with, one school here, one school there. It's not dealing with the larger problem. It's also putting that responsibility of closing the attainment gap on teachers and schools rather than the government. It's saying, well, you need to come up with the ideas, and then we'll give you the money to do it. And if you don't come up with the ideas, well, that's not our problem. There's also been a lot of criticism of the Scottish Government for not providing enough money for core teaching and resources. We've got massive teacher shortages in English and maths, and as a particular problem. So individuals would say, well, hang on, you're spending lots of money on these little projects that affect a relatively small number of pupils, when actually you should be spending more money in general on education and improving education in general. Because there is a huge problem in education of a lack of resources. So spending lots of money on smaller things, is that the best use of money, or should we be funding education more generally? And the idea would be that a rising tide lifts all boats, that everybody would benefit from that, including those living in poverty.